everyone, welcome to my channel Utsav and Kala, and this is your crafty host Priyanka. So today we are going to start the head and snout of the teddy bear when we are in the part 4 of crochet along. And if you haven't seen the first three parts, I will have them in the description for you guys to check out. And we are going to start with the snout of the teddy bear today. And I'm going to keep the snout one color, not going to change colors for the snout. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a magic ring. And I learned a new method of how to do a magic ring, so bear with me because I'm still trying like this. And then we're going to make the famous magic ring as usual. And then we're going to make 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to close the loop and come back with row 2. So here I've completed row 1, and for row 2 we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch around to get a total of 12 stitches. So for that we'll do 1, 2, in the first stitch, and then we'll go on to the second stitch, 1, and 2. And I'm going to repeat this pattern around and we will get a total of 12 stitches. So here I've completed row 2 and I have a total of 12 stitches, and again I got my stitch marker on as I have been stressing throughout this series that stitch marker is very important because it helps you keep a track of the number of stitches you have. So we're going to begin row 3 now, and we will do a total of 6 stitches increase and we'll get 18 stitches. For that we'll do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So the second one, so that's my stitch number 1 in the 1 single crochet right here, and then we'll do 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So that's 1 and 2, and you'll see that one more time. We'll do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, so insert a hook, and then we'll do 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So 1 and 2. So I'm going to repeat this pattern around and I'll come back and show you the next row. So here I've completed row 3, and for row 4 we are going to do another increase of 6 stitches, and for that we will do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2, and then we will do 2 single crochets in the third stitch. So 3 and 4 will be in the same stitch. So we'll look at it one more time. We'll do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2, and then we will do 2 single crochet in the third stitch. That will 3 and 4 stitch will be in the same stitch. And then we are going to repeat this pattern around to get a total of 24 stitches. So I'll finish the round and come back and show you the next row. So here I've completed row 4, and for row 5 we will do another increase of 6 stitches, and for that we will do 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and then we will do 2 single crochet in the fourth stitch. So 1 stitch number 4 and 5 will be in the same stitch. So you'll see that one more time. We're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and then stitch number 4 and 5 will be in the 4th stitch. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch. 1 and 2. And I'm going to repeat this pattern around and we will get a total of 30 stitches. So here I have completed row 5. For row 6 we are going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and that will give us a total of 30 stitches, but we will only do the stitch in the back loop. So for the back loop you can see that there are 2 stitches, the V here, so 1 strand here and 1 strand. So when you do complete regular stitch you get 2 loops onto the hooks, but instead of that we will use only the back loop to do the single crochet. What this does is it makes it straight and it does not like let it bend over. So we're just going to do 1 single crochet in the back loop for row number 6. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this and then come back with row 7. So here I've completed row 6, and for row 7 and 8 we will do 1 single crochet in each stitch around, but we will use both the loops this time. So we'll just do like a regular single crochet and not work in just the back loops. So just do regular single crochet in each stitch around, and it'll give us a total of 30 stitches for 2 rows, so row 7 and 8. And then once I'm done with both the rows I'll come back with row 9. So here I've completed row 8, and we are going to do one more row of 1 single crochet around. So row 9 will also be 1 single crochet around, and then we will bind off at the end of row 9, and then we will go on to the next step. So here we have completed our snout for the teddy bear, and I have already gone ahead and bind off after the 9th row, and I've left a long tail. Next I've taken a dark color yarn. You can use brown. I'm using a very shiny black. I had a scrap left over from one of the shawls that I was making, and this is I think Vena's Choice yarn, if I'm not wrong. If I remember, yeah, I think it's Vena's Choice yarn, and I have already threaded my needle. We are going to embroider the nose and the mouth for the teddy bear, and what we're going to do is we're going to just just make a V for the nose. So I'm just coming out from anywhere. I'm just going to keep like about 5-6 stitches. I mean 5 to 7 stitches on the top and make a V. I think I went too far away. Let me just move it one over. So probably start here, and if I want to make a bigger nose I'll just move 1 stitch down this side. So when I came out from here I'm just going to go to the center of the snout and then come back next to it and then go back down the center again. Wow, that was, oh, it just got caught onto something. We'll go down the center again, and then we are going to make sure that there is no gap in between the two. So just come back out next to it and pull it up, and then go back again down the center. And then go back up the top again, and you're going to repeat this pattern till you have like a V shaped nose or a triangle shaped nose for the teddy bear. And it's not going to be exact triangle, it's just, wow, I'm just getting stuck into something. Just give me 1 second, I'll be back on camera in a minute. Okay, so I'm sorry about that. So you make sure you're not pulling it too tight, just very gently, because if you pull it too tight, the stitches will sink underneath and it won't give the effect that well. And I'm going to just come out and I'm going to complete this offline and then come back and show you how I make the lips or the mouth for the teddy bear. So here I've completed making my nose, and you can even make a bigger nose if you want. Like for my other teddy bear, I've made a very big nose, and then I came out through the center right below the point here, and we're just going to go back down a couple of stitches and it'll give us a straight line or a straight stitch. I'm going to make sure all my yarn tails are out of the way, and then we are going to make a smiley for the teddy bear. So we'll come out on the side up here, and then we're going to go back down where this straight line is, and then we're going to go on the other side and we're going to just eyeball both the sides so that they're almost equal, and then come back down the center. And that completes our face. And like I said, don't pull it too tight or else it will sink down and it'll become smaller. So here is how my snout looks like with embroidered nose and mouth. So now we'll move on to the head for the teddy bear. Alright, so let's begin the head for the teddy bear, and we are always, as usual, going to begin with the magic ring. And I think by now I should have become an expert in magic ring, but life goes on. Okay, so here's the magic ring, and then we are going to do 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now I'm going to go ahead and close the loop and then come back with the next row. So here I have attached the stitch marker, and stitch markers are really useful, so make sure you utilize as many stitch markers as possible. And now we're for row 2 we are going to do 2 single crochet in each stitch around. So 1, 2, then we'll use the second stitch, 1 and 2. So I'm going to go ahead and finish doing 2 single crochets in each stitch around and come back with row 3. For row 3 we are going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and that will give us a total of 18 stitches around. So I've already started with my first stitch as I color changed, and that was my first stitch for row 3, and then I'm going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So 1 and 2, and then one more time we'll do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then we'll do 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 and 2. So we're going to repeat this pattern around and we'll get a total of 18 stitches. For row 4 we will increase another 6 stitches, that will give us a total of 24 stitches around, and for that we will do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and then we'll do 2 single crochets in the third stitch. So 1, 3 and 4 will be in the same stitch. So again one more time, 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then 3 and 4 will be in the same stitch. So we are going to follow this pattern around and then we'll get a total of 24 stitches. So here I've completed row 4 and on to row 5. For row 5 we will need a total of 30 stitches, which is another increase of 6 stitches. And I've started my first single crochet already, and we'll do 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So I've already done my first one. This is a second, and then 3. So 2 and 3. And then we will do 4th and 5th stitch in the 4th stitch together. So 1 and 2 in the same stitch. So again, let me do it one more time with you guys. 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So 4 and 5 will be in the next stitch. 4 and 5. So if repeat this pattern all around, and you will get 30 stitches. For row 6, we will do another increase of 6 stitches, that is a total of 36 stitches around. And for that we will do 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So 5 and 6 will be in the 5th stitch together. So that's going to give us a total of 6 stitches. So we will do one more time, 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 single crochets in the 5th stitch. So 5 and 6. Repeat this pattern around, and you will get 36 stitches. Here is the completed row 6, and for row 7 we will do another increase of 6 stitches, which is we will do follow the pattern 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we'll do 2 single crochets in the 6th stitch. So 6th and 7th will be in the same stitch. 6, and here is the 7th in the same stitch. So one more time we'll do 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll do 6th and 7th in the same stitch. 6 and 7. Repeat this pattern around, and we will get a total of 42 stitches. Here I've completed row 7, and I'm going to move on to row 8, which is going to be another increase of 6 stitches. That is, we will have a total of 48 stitches around. For that we will do 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So I've already started with my first one, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we will do 2 single crochet in the 7th stitch. So this is my 6th stitch, came out, and then we will do 2 single crochet in the 7th stitch. So 7 and 8 will be in the same stitch. 7 and 8. So let's look at it one more time. We'll do 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll do 2 single crochet in the 7th stitch. So 1 and 2. So we'll repeat this pattern around to get a total of 48 stitches. Row 9, we will do an increase of another 6 stitches. That will give us a total of 54 stitches, and for that we will do 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and then we'll do 2 single crochets in the 8th stitch. So 1 and 2, and we're going to repeat this pattern around, and we will get a total of 54 stitches. Completed row 9, and we're going to begin row 10 now. For row 10 we will do another increase of 6 stitches, and that will give us a total of 60 stitches around. And for that we will do 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and then we will do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So 9 and 10 will be in the same stitch, and 10. So one more time we'll do 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we will do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So it's going to be 1 and 2. So we're going to repeat this pattern all around, and we will get a total of 60 stitches. Here I've completed row 10, and that has given us a total of 60 stitches around. Now we are going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around from row 11 to row 27, which is a total of 17 rows. We're just going to keep on doing 1 single crochet around, and always remember to move up the stitch marker as you move the row, as it will help you keep a track of number of rows you have done. Also, if you want, you can leave a stitch marker here so that marks the beginning of your 1 single crochet in each stitch around rows. That will be your row number 11, and then you can add another stitch marker to keep a track of where your round ends. So that's like a trick. You can just, so that you don't have to count always, like if you forget where you were, you don't have to count back from here. You already know that where the stitch marker is it's the beginning of row 11. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish all my 17 rows and then come back and show you the next step. So here I've completed row 27, and I haven't bind off, and before we start decreasing, I'm going to start attaching the snout and the eyes of the teddy bear. And what I've done is I've left one row 27 from the bottom, and I've put my bottom edge of the snout on the row 26, and then I'm going to take the tail that we had for the snout, and I'm going to insert the needle, or I'm going to thread the needle with that tail, and I'm going to put my snout right here on row 24, and I'm going to do whip stitch. So for that I'm just going to come from bottom and do a whip stitch in each stitch around. So I'm just going to come out from the top into the stitch onto the snout, and then go down into the head, and then keep doing that around so that my snout gets attached. And while I'm doing that, before I close it all the way, I'm going to stuff the snout enough so that it doesn't like get squished. It has some stuffing, so it becomes sturdy. So I'm going to do that, finish that, and then come back and show you how we are going to attach the eyes. I have started attaching the snout to the face or the head of the teddy bear, and I am almost at the end, and you can see I've already started stuffing it, but then the tail for my snout got over. So what I did is I'm just taking, that's what I wanted to show you, that if your tail ends and you still have more to sew, just add more thread just thread the yarn needle with another piece of yarn and tie a knot at the end, and then start from the inside right here, go from the inside of the head and then come out from the stitch and then sew it right here. And make sure that you keep some space right here to sew the next line, like to crochet the next line, not sew the next line. So there's some space and you're not covering it completely. That's why I left one row below, just so that I have enough space to crochet the 28th row. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish stitching it off, finish stitching my snout off, and then I'll come back and show you how to attach the eyes to the face, to the head. So here my snout is completely attached, and I've just done an overhand knot on the back, and then I'm going to snip the yarn off. And now we are going to look at how to sew in the eyes before we start decreasing the lines. The eyes, I have taken this 12 millimeter safety eyes, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to poke it through the center. And if you're not going to use the safety eyes and you're going to just stitch it on, now is the time you want to stitch on the black or the iris of the eyes, and then we're going to sew it to the head of the teddy bear. And I'm just weaving in the tail, the beginning tail for the eyes a little bit, and I'm just going to snip it off. And then we're going to take, I've already attached one eye, if you can see right here, and right now my teddy bear has only one eye, as I'm waiting and waiting to do this quickly, so he has both his eyes. And then I'm going to take this other eye, and then I'm going to leave about 4 stitches or 3.5, because there's a half stitch here. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to poke it right here, and I'm going to just eyeball it and make it really even. And I'm going to make sure that the back end or the post end of the eyes come out from the back or the inside of the teddy bear's head. And then I'm going to take this washer for the eyes and then just press it down so that it fixes itself, and now the eyes won't move from its spot. And then we are going to take the tail end of the eyes, and then we are just going to do whip stitch like we did for the snout, and we're just going to whip stitch in each stitch around so that it secures the eyes perfectly around. And make sure that because once you put the washer on, the eyes will not be able to come out, so you make sure that you are placing the eyes exactly where you want and it's not wonky, because it happens to me all the time. I am the one who always gets into all kind of accidents all the time. So yeah, so I'm going to finish up doing the whip stitch around, and then we will start decreasing the head for the teddy bear and start with row 28. Alright guys, so both my eyes are on, and I'm really happy how he's looking, and we are going to begin row 28 row 28 for the head. And we are going to do we're going to start decreasing now. So we're going to decrease a total of 6 stitches around. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches. So 1, hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that guys. So 1 single crochet in the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we're going to do 2 together single crochet in the 9th and the 10th stitch. So insert a hook, pull up a loop through 9th stitch, insert a hook, pull up a loop through 10th stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And we're going to repeat this pattern around to get a total of 54 stitches. So here I've completed row 28, and for row 29 we're going to decrease another 6 stitches. For that we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And then we're going to do 2 together single crochet in the 8th and the 9th stitch. So insert a hook, pull up a loop through 8th stitch, insert a hook, pull up a loop through 9th stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay. So here I have the decrease in the 8th and the 9th stitch, and we're going to repeat this pattern around and we will get a total of 48 stitches. For row 30 we are going to do another decrease of 6 stitches, and for that we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And then we're going to do 2 together single crochet in the 7th and the 8th stitch. So insert a hook, pull up a loop through the 7th stitch, insert a hook, pull up a loop through 8th stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And then we're going to repeat this pattern around to get a total of 42 stitches. For row 31 we are going to decrease another 6 stitches, and for that we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then we're going to do 2 together single crochet in the 6th and the 7th stitch. So insert a hook, pull up a loop through the 6th stitch, insert a hook, pull up a loop through 7th stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And we're going to repeat this pattern around to get a total of 36 stitches. We are going to decrease another 6 stitches, and for that we will do 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then we're going to do 2 together single crochet in the 5th and the 6th stitch. So insert a hook, pull up a loop through the 5th stitch, insert a hook, pull up a loop through 6th stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And we're going to repeat this pattern around to get a total of 30 stitches. Row 33 we are going to decrease another 6 stitches, and for that we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2 and 3, and then we're going to do 2 together single crochet in the 4th and the 5th stitch. So insert a hook, pull up a loop through the 4th stitch, insert a hook, pull up a loop through 5th stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And we'll repeat this pattern around to get a total of 24 stitches. At this point I started stuffing in for the head, because as I mentioned earlier my palm is too big, but I think it's the right time to start stuffing. And then for the row 34 we are going to do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2, and then we're going to do 2 together single crochet in the 3rd and the 4th stitch. So insert a hook, pull up a loop through the 3rd stitch, insert a hook, pull up a loop through 4th stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And as we do the last few rows, we'll keep stuffing a little bit so that it doesn't stay empty on the bottom part here. So we're just going to keep stuffing as we go. But for now, we'll fill up from the top to the bottom till we have done with stuffing. Row 35, we are going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch. So for row 34, we got 18 stitches. I completely forgot to tell you all. And then for row 35 we're going to decrease another 6 stitches, and that will give us a total of 12 stitches around. And we are going to do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 together single crochet in the 2nd and the 3rd stitch. So insert a hook, pull up a loop through the 2nd stitch, insert a hook, pull up a loop through 3rd stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And you will repeat this pattern around to get 12 stitches around. For row 36 we are going to do 2 together single crochet in each stitch around. So insert a hook, pull up a loop through the first stitch, insert a hook, pull up a loop through second stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And we're going to do this in all stitches around, which will give us a total of 6 stitches around. Six stitches around, sorry. So insert a hook, pull up a loop through the third stitch, insert a hook, pull up a loop through fourth stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And we're going to repeat this around to get total of 6 stitches, and then I'll come back and show you the next step. And make sure you keep adding the stuffing or the fiber fill, just so that it's not like very light here and it doesn't like, it's not like too squishy and too soft here. So here I've completed the row 36, and now we're going to just snip off a very long tail, about 18 to 20 inches, and I've cut a longer tail, and then we are just going to bind off. So we're going to bind off, and then we're going to take the yarn, take the needle and thread the yarn through the needle. And remember to keep a long tail, because we're going to use this to sew the head and body together. So I'm just going to sew in a little bit to close this hole, the hole right here a little bit more. So I'm just going to go through each stitch around. And that will help us close the last hole in the center, which was too big. Okay, and that's about it, guys. Our head for the teddy bear is ready. So we have made all the parts of the body now, and even the balloon, and now the main and the most important thing is to put our teddy bear together. So here we have completed the head, and I have sewn this, and now we're going to take the body and the head, and then we're going to sew them both together with whip stitch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch around on, like, not just right here, but also on the outside. So I'm going to join one at a time, and I'm going to take the needle. I've threaded the needle on the yarn for the head, and I'm going to take it out from the body, insert it in the body and take it out, and then I'm going to just keep sewing in and out like whip stitch in each stitch around. And I'm going to do it for up to 2 to 3 rows so that it's sewed in securely. So I'm going to start with the first row, then go on to the second row of stitches, and so on and so forth, and then come till my pink line here. That is the fourth line from the last line of decrease. So I'm going to go ahead and keep sewing it around, and then come back and show you how it looks like all joined together. Everyone, so here I have attached my head and the body, and I also went ahead and attached one ear, one hand and one leg, and I'm going to show you how I attach the ears, hands and legs, and then we'll finally attach the balloon to the teddy bear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my yarn needle and thread my needle with the yarn for the end tail for the ears, and I'm going to count down the 6th row from here, the center right here. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. I'm just going to eyeball it and measure where I want to attach. So this is the 6th one, and I'm going to go in here and come out, and then all I'm going to do is whip stitch. And I know it's hard on the to work on the camera with this, but I'm going to try my best. So I'm going to do a whip stitch for this right here, and I'm going to do whip stitch all along the bottom line. And also I'm going to change colors since the center of my ear is purple. I have the purple yarn tail, and I'm going to work that from this way, from right to left, and this I'm going left to right. So what I'll do is I'll come here till here with the beige, and then I'll do the purple with the purple yarn tail, and then I'll move my beige from here to here to finish off with the beige. So I'm just going to, and make sure that you're pulling it really tight and taut so that it doesn't come off easily. And here is my 4th stitch, and then I'm going to just come out from here for a minute and then work on the purple. And then I'm going to just leave this yarn tail because I still have to use it, and I'm going to take my purple yarn tail and I'm going to thread it through the needle, and then I'm going to come in here and then attach the purple and then do the whip stitch. And I hope you guys can see it. If you have any questions regarding this, please let me know in the comments below. I will definitely answer my best. And yeah, and then make sure you're pulling it really taut so that it flattens out really well. And then the center here, I'm just going to go through it and then come out from the other side. So I'm going to finish this off and then come and show you how it got attached, and then we'll look at how to attach the hands. So I sewed in my ears completely, and then I just went with the needle and brought the yarn out somewhere on the face. It doesn't matter where you come out through, because all we need to do is make sure that the yarn gets entangled with the stuffing inside, so that even if we snip it really close, we don't have to make any knots, anything. This secures it, since it wouldn't come out as it's already entangled in the fibers, so it's hard for the yarn to pull off. So after that, we are going to take the hand, and my hand is right here, and I'm going to thread my needle with the yarn tail. Okay, and then for the hand, what we're going to do is we're going to put it down in the level of the ears. So the ear is here, and we just go down, and then we're going to place it right here. And the shoulder we leave like 2 stitches or 2 to 3 rows we're going to leave, and then we're going to start attaching the arm there. So I'm just going to eyeball it. Mostly it's all about I just eyeball it, but if you want, you can just go through we'll make a line here, and then so we can go right here into the blue stitch, and I'll come out from the next blue. The first stitch is the hardest to put in, since once you join it once, it becomes really easy to attach. So now you just go back through the top and come out from the top of the arm, and then pull it taut. Make sure you pull it really tight, and then just keep working in the whip stitch. Keep working the whip stitch all through the arm or the hand. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and then come back and show you how to sew the leg on. I have attached my hand, and also I wanted to mention one thing for the ears and the hand, both of them, that on the edge stitches you might want to do like a couple of stitches instead of just one on the end stitches right here, just so that it becomes more sturdy and it gets like more thread, so that it becomes sturdy and stiffer. So make sure that you do that. And if you do it a couple of times, it also makes sure that the ends is not lifted out. So that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to take our leg now, and I've already attached one leg, and it's not going to be on the side, it's going to be a little bit centered right here, and I'm going to do it on the 9 stitch from the bottom, so you can count the 9 stitch here. 1 2 3 5 6 7 8 and 9. And I'm just going to go right here. My green is going to be the 9th stitch, so I'm just bringing it a little bit centered, but not like really in front, but a little centered, not on the sides. So I'm just going to take, and like I mentioned earlier, the first stitch is the hardest, and then it becomes easier once the leg is, or once the leg or the body part is already attached a little bit. And then you just do whip stitch back and forth, and you might want to attach like up to 2 rows of the leg so it stays straight. So I'm going to go do that and then come back and show you my attached completed leg, and then we're going to attach the balloon together. So now that we have all the body parts attached, we are going to finally attach our balloon, and I have my yarn already threaded onto the needle, and I'm going to place, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to insert my needle anywhere in the arm and then come out right here on the side. And I'm just eyeballing it, I'm not counting any lines, but just so if you want to know, I have done it on the 1 2 3 4 fourth, below, between 4th and 5th line I came out, and I left a little bit of yarn tail on the back. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the other hand and join them together and insert the yarn, the needle through the opposite hand, and then come back down a few stitches on the same hand. And then we're going to bring that needle back to this hand and come back out through where we have sewn the first. We came out the first time, bring it back out there, and before we make it tight, we are going to lock this tail of the balloon in between, and we're going to have some tail at the bottom, and then we're going to repeat this process around for like 7 to 8 times just to secure the tail behind there. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that and then come back and show you how we are going to attach the rest of the yarn, the string of the balloon and balloon to the teddy bear. Now I have the string so caught up properly in between that it wouldn't move no more, and that's perfect. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the string for the balloon, and I'm going to measure it out a little bit. I'm going to give it like a curve a little bit, and then I'm coming out through, I'll just take like a place, mark a place, and I'll come out through anywhere in the arm again, and then I'll just mark a place and go through one stitch several times, so to completely secure it here. And we're just going to keep repeating the stitch onto the arm. That one stitch we're going to stitch it completely and very tightly, and I'm not worrying about the color of the yarn that I have chosen to attach the string to the arm, because I want to make it look scrappy yarn, a scrappy yarn project. So I'm just using any color yarn, but if you want, you can use a particular color, or you can match it with the string of your balloon. You can do however you wish, because remember, nothing is wrong or right. Ultimately it is your teddy bear, so you make it the way you want it. And I've left a little bit of curve, and I'll show you in the end that both my teddy bears, even though I made it with the same pattern, they look different a little bit, and that's okay, because it depends on the yarns used, the thickness and the weight of the yarn and everything. It depends on that, so it changes a little bit, and that's perfectly fine. So if your teddy bear looks little different, or your balloon looks a little different than mine, that's perfectly okay. And then I'm going to just cut the yarn right here, and then I'm going to show you how to attach the balloon to the head. For the balloon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter it through the balloon, and I have taken the same pink color yarn that I used for the balloon, and you can definitely use a different color yarn, and that's okay too. And then all you're going to do is you're going to sew it a couple of stitches, or at least 4 to 5 stitches with the head of the teddy bear. So I'm just going to go ahead and do whip stitch again. And don't do it like me where I pull the yarn completely and the tail comes off and then I have to redo it, because I do that all the time. And then just do whip stitch here. And it's a little bit hard. It looks hard for me because the camera is in between, so I can't really like pull my hand too much to do it properly. So I'm really sorry if I'm thinking to talk, because I'm not thinking to talk, but I'm just trying to get this yarn I'm trying to get it into the camera while I'm working with it, and then also not trying to hit the camera completely with my hand. So it's like a little bit of a challenge here. Okay, and you can definitely sew in more stitches so that it becomes sturdy and more secure. I'm going to do that a couple of more stitches, or I'm going to go back in reverse and then come back and show you one more final step before we are completely done with our teddy bear. Here I've attached about 5 to 6 stitches with the balloon and the teddy bear on the head, and then I brought my yarn. I did not cut it off. I brought my yarn up here where the word U, well, the alphabet U is, and I'm going to just stitch a couple of stitches through the ears to secure it with the ears, and it becomes more sturdier, and also it doesn't like flop over or droop over, and this just gives it a little bit of support to hold. So I'm just going to do like three stitches up and down a couple of times, and we are again going to use the whip stitch only. We are not going to use anything difficult. We are just going to use a simple whip stitch. And I'm going to go back down one more time just so that it secures properly. And we'll come back. The last stitch always will be on the balloon, and then we'll come out anywhere in the balloon because it matches the color. Pull it really taut and then just snip off the yarn. And that completes the stitching for our teddy bear. And now I will finally show my face and both my teddy bears together, because that would be the best way to show you both the completed teddy bear and also the differences. Even though I did the same pattern, I followed the same pattern, it has a little bit of difference, and it will always have a little bit of difference, and I just wanted to talk a little bit more about that. And I will see you with my face and both the teddy bears in a minute. Alright everyone, so here are both my completed teddy bears. So happy how they turned out, and both of them sit well. And I feel that there are some differences, the one that I made first and then this one I made with you guys. The first major difference I have is the balloon. The size of the balloon is really big for this one, the second one that I made. And the reason why it is big is because this yarn that I used was Karen 1 pound yarn, the scraps I had left from it. And this was a sport weight yarn that I had some scraps remaining from. And the other thing that I would say is that I felt when I started making the body for this teddy bear, I felt the body was smaller, but now that I'm looking at it, I feel like it's, in general, this teddy bear is a tad bigger than the first one I made, and it can absolutely be the reason for the weightage of the yarn, because I mixed in everything like Karen 1 pound, Super Savers, and I even used Vanna's Choice, and I mixed a whole bunch of yarn. And then this one was strictly Super Saver. All my scraps that were in this teddy bear that came from Super Saver, and I didn't use any other yarn for this the first one. So what I want to tell you guys is that if it is your teddy bear is a little bit different than mine, it's okay, because it's your teddy bear. You made it, it is your teddy bear, so it has to have a little bit of you in it. Me making 2 teddy bears and them being different means that every time I make a teddy bear, it's going to be a little bit different, especially if you're making it with the scrap yarns, because you don't know what scrap yarn or what brand yarn you're putting into. I mean, you know it, but you understand me, that you're not just going to put like one kind of scrap yarn like I did for this one, only Super Savers. If you do that, you're going to have a consistent teddy bears. So for that reason, I wanted to let you guys know that if it's a little bit different, that's okay. One more thing I want to let you guys know, this is my first crochet along, and if something wasn't something I explained wasn't clear enough for you guys, just leave me a comment below and I will definitely help you guys out to figure out what I was trying to say, and to understand, because sometimes it does happen where I understand it one way and you might understand it a different way. So if you guys are stuck somewhere and you guys really need some help, just leave me a comment and I will definitely get back to you as soon as possible. And yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed making this teddy bear with me, and if you do make one teddy bear, leave a photo of your teddy bear on my Facebook page, and I will have the link to the Facebook in the description for you guys to check out. Also, please give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this and if you want me to do more crochet along videos. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. This year I have a ton of projects already planned out, and I'm going to try my best to keep it consistent this year, unlike the previous years where I was like on and off. But I'm trying my best to be consistent this year, and that's my biggest resolution for the year, that I'm going to be consistent and be trying to post at least once a week. So I hope you guys subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much everybody who has supported me and who has been my subscriber and who are already a part of my family. I'm thankful to you guys. You guys make my channel. You are the one that's the reason why I try to put up new craft ideas. Also, one more thing, I love trying out new crafts and arts. So if you have something that you want me to try out that you haven't seen on my channel and you want me to try that out, please leave me a comment. I will definitely do that, and I will try out that video, or not the video, that craft or art that you suggest, because I love suggestions. And do leave me that video, it just makes my day. Do leave me those comments, it makes my day. Oh god, I can't even speak. I'm so excited that this is done. So thank you so much, guys, for all your help and support. And yes, please have a good day and blessed day. Have a wonderful and blessed day and a wonderful